Hello all and welcome to the latest Craftmania Sunday Showcase. I'm Jamie and I'm going to be your host today. Now before we move on to show you today's amazing new goodies, let's just have a quick chat about last week's showcase. Last week's Sunday Showcase was actually the most successful Sunday Showcase we've had in Craftmania history. So thank you so much to all of you who took part in that one. They certainly were amazing products and I know you've really loved them. Now, complete honesty with you, we are having a few issues getting all of your parcels to you. A lot of them have already been dispatched, but please don't panic, they are all en route. We've just had a bit of a hiccup with the parcel force and Royal Mail this week. I think they're getting a bit bogged down with Christmas, as I'm sure you can understand, and things are taking a little bit longer to get through to you than we personally would like. But sadly, once we've sent them, there's not a lot we can do. We just keep moaning a bit and trying to get them to you quicker. But do bear with us, they are going to be en route to you if they're not already. With that in mind, obviously with today's showcase, once again a little warning that we will do our best to get them sent out to you as soon as we possibly can, and hopefully they will get to you as quickly as they can do, but please be warned, the whole postage system is chaos at the moment. We've even had issues where tracking numbers aren't actually displaying, although we've been given tracking numbers, they're the right numbers. So there are a few issues going on, but don't panic, your goods are being sent and they will be with you soon. So with that in mind, let's have a look at what we have to tease you with today. We have lots of new stamps for you and a couple of dies as well. And the good bit is they're all reduced. Now, some of you may be new to our Sunday showcases, so if you are, welcome, hello. If you're not and you're returning, even better, brilliant. I'm glad you're with us again. Now, if you are new, you might not know how our Sunday showcases work, but basically it's ever so easy. We're going to show you lots of products that we're going to be talking about today, and each one of them has a little code that I will be telling you as we go along. If you wish to order these products over the phone to one of our stores, via text message, online, on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, if you could use that code, that would be lovely. We'll know the item that you're on about and we can make sure that we've got the right one for you. If you wish to order on our personal website, you can do that as well. You don't have to have the codes for that because everything is pictured individually. So you can just click on and order the items you would like, and you can either have them posted to you anywhere in the world, or you can actually click and collect them from our stores as well. So, this one of course is stamp 1. It's your Woodland House Scene. It should be $4.99, but it's reduced to just $3.99. Now, I'm really chuffed we've been able to bring you these Woodland style stamps and these scene style stamps. We had a Christmas collection a few weeks back and they proved incredibly popular. And I knew that the everyday ones were coming, but I didn't think we would get them till early next year. So I'm really delighted to be able to bring these to you so quickly. As you can see, they are just so detailed. We've obviously stamped these out just using black ink onto some white cardstock to show you what they look like, because I often think showing you the clear packets is a bit misleading. But this is actually one of them stamped out, so you're going to get that extra detail, all these really fine bits, and will actually, of course, be stamped for you in whatever medium you wish to stamp in. Of course, it is an everyday stamp, but there's nothing stopping you dressing these up for Christmas as well. If you are running late on your Christmas cards, and a few of you are still panically sort of doing your Christmassy bits, I can imagine snow on the hills and a wreath on the door if you wanted to. So that, of course, is stamp 1. That's your Woodland House Scene. Should be $4.99, but is reduced to just $3.99. Moving on, sticking with a scene idea, we have stamp number 2. This is your lake scene. Now again, I think this one's going to go really quickly. I love this, especially if you've got men in your life that do fishing, or women in your life that do fishing. I could see that this could really be good for that as well. Your lake scene should be $5.99, but it is reduced to just $4.99. And that, of course, is stamp 2. Moving on to stamp 3. This one is your bridge scene. Again, should be $4.99, but is reduced to just $3.99. And as you've probably guessed already, there's nothing stopping you building these up into larger scenes, because they're all in sort of the same sizes and dimensions, and of course done by the same designers. They really work well together, so if you do want to build up bigger pictures or use them together, you certainly can do. This is just a little sample bit that I've done as well, just to show you how, if you stamp on some nice pearl cardstock, that gives you a bit of a different effect. Still in black ink, but it just gives you a different idea to the black on white that we've been showing you up till now. Then moving on to stamp 4. Stamp 4 is our rose collection. Now this is actually the piece of plastic that you get on your stamp, so you can see all the different designs that you're going to be getting in that one sheet. Now this should be $7.99, but it's reduced to just £5.89. But I did these, I got a bit carried away. I'm not going to lie, I did get a bit carried away. I was going to stamp one of each of them on a sheet to show you like I had been doing the others. And then it just sort of took over and I got a bit backgroundy and then that was it. I ended up with loads of them. So this one, of course, is showing you how you could make like a one sheet wonder style using this stamp here. So that's just that one to give you an idea. Then we've got another one. So this is about an 8x8 to give you an idea of size. That's, of course, using the stamp in the middle here. Now, of course, I've just left these black and white, but there's nothing stopping you stamping them all up and getting some more sort of colours on here, with stamping them in different colours or colouring in with pencils, pens, adding some glitter to them, whatever you wanted to. This one's an A4 sheet and it uses every stamp on your actual set, so every single one of them. And I've stamped each one on here somewhere 6 times. So there's 6 of each of them to give you an idea, to build up a complete background effect. So if you don't want to stick with just one stamp, why not use a little bit of all of them? Or we have this one. So this one's bigger than A4 and it's just using the one stamp out of the top corner here just to completely fill a background. And I love doing this. I think it's a really nice way to get sort of an expensive backing paper look really inexpensively and really quickly and easily. And although I've done all mine on plain white cardstock, sometimes I do this on patterned papers as well, and I think that looks really good and quite expensive looking too. So if you haven't done sort of stamped backgrounds before with one stamp or a collection, might be something you want to give a go. And this stamp set really is quite lovely because it's just so detailed. The artwork in this is really, really lovely. And again, if you did want to colour them in, I think you could end up with some really stunning results from them. So that is stamp set 4. That's your Rose collection. It should be £7.99, but it's only £5.89. Moving on to stamp number 5. This one's a lovely background stamp. It's a music background, and as you can see, it's quite a large stamp. That is actually just one stamp stamped out for you. Desperately trying to remember, I think it's something like 12 centimetres to give you a rough idea. A 12 centimetre square if I remember correctly, but certainly about that. So it's a big old stamp and certainly going to give you a nice background. Again, we tend to use a lot of music backgrounds for Christmas cards, but they're really nice for men's cards and cards throughout the year really, aren't they? So it's sort of a general one, that one. That one should be £9.99, but it's actually got 50% off this one this week. So it's only £4.99. So that's stamp number 5, your music background, only £4.99. Then we move on to something a little bit smaller. Stamp number 6 is your Floral Congrats stamp. This one should be £4.99, but it's reduced to just £3.69. And as you can see, it's really nice and delicate and detailed again. Really good for making up borders or frames if you want to. And it also comes with 2 little words as well. So we've got congrats and hugs. And they're separate words, obviously, so you can use them anywhere you wish to. And again, really good value for money, only £3.69. I really like that one. I think that one will go quickly. Then moving on to stamp number 7, we have your Wild Floral. And again, really, really delicate, really, really detailed stamp in here. And it's just a really posh one, really, isn't it? It's lovely. Again, good for making up borders or corners. Stamp 7, your Wild Floral, should be £8.69, but is reduced to just £4.99 on offer this week. Then moving on, we have stamp number 8. So this is your Floral Post. It should be £8.69, but it's reduced to just £4.99. Now again, I've stamped it in black and white, but I've also done this as well, which is actually using gold embossing powder on gold cardstock. I think I'm just trying to make you struggle to see them really, because it's a bit of a tricky one, but hopefully that's coming through clearly for you. I just think that looks really nice. Sort of looks as if you've embossed it on the card, where obviously you haven't, you've stamped it, but it looks as if you've used an embossing folder to create that effect. So I quite like doing the same colours, so I know it's a bit trickier to see, but hopefully you quite like the effect. And as you can see, the black and white's really striking as well. So easy to just paint that in with a few inks and you can have a really effective stamp there. So that of course is stamp number 8, that's your Floral Post, should be £8.69, but is only £4.99. Then moving on, we have stamp number 9. Now this is one of my favourites. I absolutely love this. I have a big thing for damask backgrounds in just about anything. So the idea of having a stamp that I could stamp in any colourway, on any colourway, and do for everything in the rest of my life, I'm quite in love. I genuinely am very excited about this one. Your damask background should be £11.99, but is reduced to just £7.99. Now of course we've got the black and white one here. This one I've actually stamped in teal on gold. So it's quite subdued in its actual colouring. You might not be able to see that one too well either, but it's quite nice just to work with some light colours on pearl cardstock, and they sort of tone down a bit on pearl card. It sort of absorbs in a bit as well. But I love that one. So that, of course, is stamp number 9. Your damask background should be $11.99, but is reduced to just $7.99. Then moving on to stamp number 10. This one is your gramophone stamp. It should be $7.99, but is reduced to just £4.49. Now, I actually think it looks best in black and white. I think that's lovely. I only did this as a little sample to show you at the very end of all of my prep work, and I really love the black and white in this one. This one up here is actually silver embossing powder done on gold cardstock, just to show you a different idea as well. Quite like mixing my metallics, so that's a different way to do it. Didn't get to use that one, but I thought I'd share it with you just as well. So that, of course, is stamp number 10. Your gramophone stamp should be $7.99, but it's only £4.49. Then we have your last stamp that we're going to share with you today. This one is stamp 11. It's your linen background. Again, it's quite a large stamp. It should be $9.99, but it is reduced to just $4.99. Now, with these big background stamps, I will, because of my memory is shockingly poor, I will put them pictured on the website with the sizes in the description. So if you are worried about how big these are, do go and have a little look on there, and you will see the background stamp sizes on the website if you wish to see them. Then moving on to our first die, we have die number 12, which is our bulrushes die. Now, you might be thinking, that's a very random die, where's that come from? This, of course, works really well with them scenes, like your lake and your bridge bit. You could really add them into really create some nice depth to your stamping. The bulrush die should be £4.49, but it's actually half price at only £2.25. Now, with both of the dies we're going to talk about, this one and the next one, we do have quite a limited stocks of these ones. So if you do like the look of these, please do get in really quickly with these, because I have a feeling they'll go quite quick. Of course, you could colour this up. You don't have to leave it in white. I've actually inked mine into sort of a monochrome card that I'm going to get to show you shortly. But they're just lovely. I think they're quite cute, those. Moving on, we have die number 13. Now, this is your fish corners. Now, you actually get 2 dies in this set, which is quite nice because the fish point in 2 different directions. So if you wish to, like I've laid this set out in this frame, you can have the fish pointing at each other if you wish to. Or in the one below that, you will see that you could have them all go round in a circle. So it's up to you which corners you use, but they're really, really pretty. And they have a really nice embossed part on them as well. And if you do want to, you can actually leave them in the die itself. If I can pick this up, come here you. You can actually leave them in the die itself, and then you can ink through the top on all of this really nice embossed bit, so you can actually get the scales of your fish in a different colour to what you've cut your fish out in, and that's a really nice way to actually colour these and give you a bit of a different texture to them. And again, I'll get to show you that on one of my cards shortly. So your fish corners, die 13, should be $9.99, but they are only $4.99. And again, they are a discontinued item. So when we're sold out of them, there is no more. So please don't hang around if you like the look of them. Of course, they'd be good for your oriental cards or, of course, fishing cards. So lots of uses for them ones. Moving on, we have die number 14. Now, this one's an oldie but a goodie, but it's now on clearance and going quickly. This is your swirls collection. So as you can see, you're going to get several different size swirls and different fancy bits to use as well. It should be $16.99 for this set, but your offer price this week is only £8.49. And I love these. I think they're really good if you put them into floral displays and bits. So you'll get to see quite a lot of them on my cards when we get to them in just a moment. Then moving on to die number 15. This one's actually one that featured on a showcase about a year ago, I think, but we've managed to get some more in. And again, they are now clearance, so they're reduced even further than they were. And when they're gone, they're gone. But the good bit with this one is you get this really nice, delicate frame, which is actually a solid, so there's no blade in the middle here. It will actually keep that part in there. So if you wish to use it to stamp things on or layer things onto it, you can do. But on top of that, they do give you an oval cutout. So if you want to, again, you could layer bits on top of that. Or, of course, we can cut that hole out or that oval out as well and actually turn that into a frame. And then they've also give you a couple of little twiddly bits which make quite nice corner elements that, of course, match in with all the scroll work that's going around your frame. Now, that set, believe it or not, should actually be $18.99 is its recommended retail price. But we have a few of these left on offer at just £5. So again, really, really silly price for them, and when they're gone, they're gone. Then to continue on with the fish theme, there is a fish theme running through today. We have some Gone Fishing ribbon. Now this is ribbon 16 is your code. It should be 89p per metre, but it's reduced to just 44p a metre. And this is really good because it's quite easy to colour it as well. So if you want to ink it and change the colour of it, you can do. So of course it's starting off as sort of a cream and grey colouring, but when you ink over it, the grey doesn't absorb the ink, so you can colour the ribbon to whatever colour you wish to. So on my card, I'm going to show you in a minute, you'll notice that I've actually inked this black, but you can still see the grey printing. So it's quite a nice ribbon, that one. But again, when it's gone, it's gone. So do get in with that one quickly. But it is now only 44p a metre. So with that in mind, they're all of the products we're going to be looking at today. Let's show you lots of samples that I've made with them to hopefully give you a few ideas and help you pick which ones you might like. So we'll start off with our first card here. So this is a 7x7 card, just to give you an idea of scale. I've gone for quite an easy colour scheme of just mint green, black and gold, with obviously the sort of oyster cardstock in the background. I've gone for using stamp 4, which is the rose collection. So that's obviously going to make my focal part here. And then we've also got this frame that's made up of the stamp in the corner of that set. I really like that. I think that just makes a really lovely frame quite easily. The Rose collection, of course, was $7.99, but is now only £5.89 for that set of stamps. And then in the background, you're getting your first look at the damask stamp used on a card. The damask stamp, of course, is stamp number 9, and it was $11.99, but it's now only $7.99. Like this one, like most of the cards today, they're all quite simple cards. I haven't done anything too complicated, but I more just want to show you how lovely these stamps are and how many different ways you can use them in conjunction with each other. So they are a bit easier today. Moving on to our next card. So this is one of my Gone Fishing cards. So of course we've got the ribbon on here, which we was just chatting about. As I said, I inked mine in black. I actually just used a Memento ink pad to do that. So it's inked the actual ribbon, and as you can see, you can still see the printing on it as well. Then the stamp is, of course, the stamp 2, the lake scene, which should be $5.99, but is now only $4.99. I just think that's an incredible stamp. I know there are some stamps out there where you can build scenes like that up using individuals that I think would take me a lifetime, and I would never get it looking as good as that. I just think it's a really lovely, incredible stamp that you're going to be able to stamp that time and time again and use it for so many different occasions. You've then got your Bulrushes die. Now this is the only time you're going to get to see this, but I think it does go in so well with our little scene here. So if you are going to go for the scene, really would urge you to try and get one of them. But don't forget, we do have a very limited number, so do be quick with that. It's of course die 12, and it should be £4.49, but it is now only £2.25. And then we've got our fish corners. Now this is I've actually done like a shoe. I've cut my fish, I've left them in the actual die, and I've inked through over the top of it. So I've picked up on the little dots down the side here, and all the scales of the fish and his little eyes are all inked just by keeping it actually in the die cut itself. And I've just used opposite ones for my 2 corners on this one. Of course, the fish corners is set die 13. It should be $9.99, but it's now only $4.99. And then, of course, I've also done the inside. Now, the inside has the bridge stamp on it, which is stamp number 3, which again should be $4.99, but is only $3.99. And I quite like that for the insert. I thought that worked quite well because it still gave you a bit of room to write your message or add your sentiment if you wish to as well. And, of course, goes in quite well with our scene on the outside. So, again, I do think you're going to need all of them scene stamps. If you pick one, I think you're going to need or regret not having all 3 of them. Then we go on to this one. Now this card is actually going to feature in one of our lessons. This will be in the new year, so it's going to be in our Great Yarmouth store when all of our lessons have moved to our Great Yarmouth store. As we mentioned last week, and if you follow us on Facebook and different social media, we are closing our Lowestoft store down at Christmas. Closes on Christmas Eve, but don't worry, your Sunday showcases will still continue as they always have done. And of course, all of our lessons that we currently hold in our Lowestoft store are all moving to our Great Yarmouth store. So this lesson in particular, to give you an idea, they actually start early on in January, but this one's going to be a little bit further on, so the same pattern applies. But this lesson will be taught on Monday the 21st of January, Wednesday the 23rd of January, Friday the 25th of January, and Saturday the 26th of January. Our card making classes make up just a fraction of the lessons we'll be doing in our Yarmouth store. And if you do want to know more about our lessons, I will put the link to the event section in the description to this video, so you can go and have a little look at all of the different lessons we'll be doing and the times that they're coming up. But this is just one of the cards that will feature in that lesson. There will be a second card joining it once I've created it. But this card itself, going back to the showcase, is actually using stamp number 2, which is the lake scene, which should be £5.99, but is now only £4.99. And of course you can see I've just stamped mine in black Memento ink, and I've just painted it in using some distress inks and a paintbrush. Nothing too complicated. My painting is not usually very good, so I'm not going to pretend I'm very good at painting, but they're ever so easy to do, simply because everything's already there for you. It's just like filling in any colouring really. It's quite an easy one to do. Moving on to our next card. So this one, we have gone for that lovely stamp, which of course is the floral congrats stamp. That's the congrats bit. There's me desperately trying to find the floral bit that goes with it. Excuse me. That's the congrats bit down there. That should be £4.99, but it's reduced to just £3.69. The gorgeous bit that I really like is, of course, the flower, and that is stamp number 8, which is the floral post stamp, which should be £8.69, but is now only £4.99. And of course, this time I've heated it in gold embossing powder on black cardstock, just to make that sort of pop. I really like doing that, gold and black. I think it looks quite good. Hopefully you do too, because I've got lots of gold and black I'm going to be boring you with today if you don't. In the background of that we have stamp number 11, which is the linen background. And this time I've done gold embossing on gold again, so I know it's a bit tricky to see. But I quite like the way that linen could actually look a little bit more elegant than sort of grungy. And I wanted to show that that could really go into make some quite nice cards. Just depending on the colour that you wish to use it in, really. Then on to our next card. I've got lots to get through today. I've got 16 different cards. I don't think I've told you that yet. So I hope you've got a cup of tea, because we've got lots to chat about. But moving on to the next one. So this one is our blue work card. So nice blue Memento ink used for this one. It's got stamp number 7, which is the wild flowers, which I just think is a really beautiful stamp. Really love the detail on this. I just think it's lovely. And especially if you could add some glitter to the flower bits maybe, or some tiny little rhinestones, that would really make this one pop as well. Stamp number 7, the wild florals, should be £8.69, but is now only £4.99. And then of course we've got that linen stamp in the background again, which is number 11, should be £9.99, but is still only £4.99. And I just thought that was quite a clean, crisp card. As I said earlier, a lot of these aren't complicated today. They're quite simple, quick cards, but that's the joy of stamping. It's really down to how much faffing you want to do to how complicated the card is you create. You can do some such easy things with stamps if you want to. So on to this one. This is our acetate card, or one of our first acetate cards, sort of decorated throughout on this one, and it's got different stamps dotted through it. So of course in the middle here, starting off at the beginning of our stamp set, we have the woodland house, which is stamp number 1, and again this is just gold embossing powder on black cardstock. It should be £4.99, but it's reduced to just £3.99. We've then got our wording bit on the front out here. Oh no, sorry. No, I'm lying to you. It is the stamp I'm looking for. I'm not very good with this, sorry. It's this bit we're looking at, which is the flowers from the floral congrats stamp, which of course should be £4.99, but is only £3.69. And I've just done it 4 times to make up my sort of frame to go behind our little panel in the middle. And then we'll go to the outside, shall we? So this is stamp number 7, which is your wild floral going down here. Of course, this is gold embossing powder used on acetate. It should be £8.69, but is now only £4.99 for that stamp. And again, I think it looks really nice on acetate, which is quite a nice way to use it. And quite a nice way to add a different dimension to your card. I think they look a bit more luxurious if you have an acetate wrapped around them. Now, hopefully this card I might actually get right, because it's only got 1 stamp on it, so I shouldn't get too confused. This is stamp number 1. It is our woodland house scene. It should be £4.99, but is of course only £3.99. And with this one, I'd painted it in way before I knew what I was going to do with it. And I thought it was too elegant and lovely to actually see it all painted, to do too much faffing with it. I just wanted you to really appreciate or see how easy it is to colour, and how just colouring it can look quite nice on its own. So it's a really basic card is what I'm trying to say really. But I don't think it needs too much, because it's just such a lovely stamp that even if you don't want to do too much complicated, you don't have to. On to our next one. Talking of not complicated, if you don't even want to paint them, you don't have to. They look lovely just left in black and white. So this, of course, is the same woodland house we just looked at, but left completely in black and white. Still the same, $3.99. And then, of course, we've got the bridge scene that's tucked underneath that one. Again, just $3.99. Oh, something we haven't mentioned or I haven't spoke about are these flowers. You're going to get to see lots of these today. I think this is the first card I've shown you actually with them on. But this is our daisy die set, and it's a really inexpensive one. I forgot to bring one round to talk to you about it actually. But I will post the picture of this on the website again in the Sunday Showcase section. So if you do wish to have a look at our daisy set, you can do. But it's a really lovely one, and it's one we've got in stock at the moment. And I love this. I've sort of stuck it on lots of places throughout today's samples, so you'll get to see lots of that one. And then moving on to our next card, shall we? So this time we have gone teal and white. This time we have got stamp number 8, which is the floral post stamp in the middle here. That again should be $8.69, but is now just $4.99. We then of course have the damask background, obviously in the background this time. Again in teal and on white, should be $11.99, just reduced now to $7.99. And then we've got them really lovely swirl dies, sort of creeping in around the edges. The swirl die is of course die 14, and it's now only £8.49. This of course is just using the large swirl, but there's nothing stopping you from adding in some of them really nice delicate ones that are in that set as well. And then this card, I really don't like this one, to be completely honest with you. But I like to show you the ones I do like and the ones I don't like all at the same time, and then you can make your own opinion. But I thought this one was a bit boring, but I wanted to share it with you because I really like the stamping on the gold bit, so hence why it's made it into the cut today. But stamp number 1 was used for this one, which of course is the woodland house. And then we've got the word in the hugs bit is from the floral congrats stamp again, just to show you the little hugs bit on there. And then we've got more of them flowers we was just chatting about. I think it's lacking something. I think I needed to do something a bit more with that one, but hopefully it gives you a different idea of how you could use your stamping on different coloured pearls to give you different ideas. And then on to this one. So this is one of our dome cards. Now, if you don't know how to make a dome card, they're really simple. It's just made out of a free-fold aperture card. We actually have a video showing you how to do this, so if you're thinking, oh yeah, but it's easy, it really is, and we'll show you how to do it, so you don't have to worry. Again, I'll link that video in the description to this video, so if you do wish to go off and see that one, see how to do them, you can do. And then these cards are all on our website. We often get questions about where are they. They're just under our card blank section as aperture cards. So that's what you want if you wish to make dome fronted cards. You're looking for aperture cards. All right. The actual card itself, so it started off just as a flat card, so I thought I'd stamp and heat emboss on it first of all using the wild floral stamp, which is stamp number 7, now only $4.99. I've added in the swirl die over this side, which again is the big swirl from die 14. Then we've got more of the flowers around the edge there. And then when we actually go into the centre, obviously we've got the gramophone stamp, which is number 10, which is now only $4.49. Just cut and layered, so I've stamped it in 2 different colours, heat embossed it in gold, and layered it up to give you a bit more of a depth to it. And then in the background, and I've covered a lot of this up, I think it's really striking, but this is my damask love going on here. We've got gold embossed damask on black. That's a mouthful, isn't it? That's using stamp number 9, which of course should be $11.99, but is now only $7.99. But I thought that looked really good, and then I went and covered half it up so you couldn't really see it. But I think it's a really lovely stamp, and I'm going to keep going on and on about that one. We then on the inside have our wild floral stamp, again just coming down from the top here, because on the front we've got it going up from the bottom, but I thought it actually looked quite nice sort of trailing down as well, so there's no reason you couldn't use that in all angles, was my decision. Again, just done in gold embossing on the inside too. Then moving on to our next card. So this one, I've had so much gold going on today, I thought I ought to share some other colours with you. So we've got black and silver, white, black and silver this time. Again, on this one, we are using the gramophone stamp, which of course is stamp number 10. This time I've done in both layers in black and then just cut and layered this one. In the background here, we have got the floral congrats stamp, again just stamped in 4 times to create that frame going around here. But I quite liked it because it's a bit of a vintage effect I achieved with this one. And I quite liked the way it didn't sort of all look too crisp, if that makes any sense. And then under our flowers, our lovely flowers we keep chatting about, is again more of the swirls coming through under that one. Of course, the swirls is die number 14 and is only £8.49. Moving on to our next card. So this one is all really about the bridge scene, and this time I wanted to show you it actually coloured in or painted in. So again, I've painted it in with Distress inks. Our bridge scene is stamp number 3, still only £3.99. Then in the background to this one we have our linen stamp, which of course is number 11, which is only £4.99. Obviously your linen stamp is smaller than this, so I've actually stamped it 4 times on an A4 and then just cut the bit out that I wanted, but there's nothing stopping you with these background stamps building up into bigger areas if you want to. So you're not being fooled, it is stamped 4 times, it's not just one stamp that suddenly got bigger. And then on to our next card. So with this one we've gone for another acetate overlay. So on this one we've got the bridge scene actually hidden in the little bit in the middle here. So of course that's still stamp number 3. Behind it we've got the flowers, which is the rose collection, which is stamp number 4. Again, it's using that one down here. Let's actually show you in case you're not too sure. It's this stamp here that I keep using to make up a frame, because it's sort of in an L shape itself, so it really does lend itself to quite nice frames, or I think it does anyway. So I've used it on that layer again to create that effect. And then skipping back to our actual acetate, we've got that floral congrats stamp again, used to create our 4 corners on that one. And then if we flip over on our acetate, we've actually got the damask stamp again, heat embossed in gold on gold. And I thought that looked really luxurious, but I am a bit of a damask lover, as I keep confessing. So you might not be feeling that one quite as much as I am. I love that. I thought that looked quite nice. And then we've just added a matching insert bit, just so when it sits open, you've got sort of all 3 panels matching in quite nicely. And then on to this one. So this card is really basic one. I wanted to do more with this, but I wanted to show you more how you could use your stamps together. So this is of course using stamp number 1, the woodland house, and stamp number 3, which is the bridge scene. And when Tracy, who works for us in our Lowestoft store, come around and see I'd created this, she asked if I'd been faffing and masking my stamps to create this effect. I really didn't. I just stamped one and then I stamped the other one, sort of overlapping slightly. It's no trickery, it's no faffing, it just is literal stick-on stamping. And I thought they went together quite nicely. You can see where part of the bridge sort of goes into behind, the tree goes into the bridge bit here, but I thought it all matched in quite nicely. So if you want to build up a bigger area, why not? This is actually an 8x8 card to give you an idea of size, so there's nothing stopping you making up bigger scenes. Again, I thought this might be really nice actually on the insert. If maybe you'd put the lake scene on the outside of your card, this could make quite a nice insert panel instead of the outside of a card. But I was running out of time and I just wanted to show you how you could use them together really. And then on to our last card today. And so this one, let's grab this one and have a little chat about this one. So on here, we've got lots of bits going on. We have stamp number 5, which is our music background stamp. Now this is actually just one stamp, heat embossed on gold. So again, I've gone for gold on gold. And then I've cut my one stamp, my one sheet, up into inches. So it's actually 5 inches I've managed to get out of that by 5 inches. And then I've layered them on 1¼ pearly green squares, and then layered that onto some white cardstock. It's a very similar to what it is really, the inches technique, but you tend to do the inches technique using different things or a bigger picture. But I thought it was quite nice to try and show you how you could do that with a background stamp as well, to create a larger area as well if you wanted to. In the middle here, obviously, I've used the dies, or the oval that comes in with this set of dies, and I've actually stamped my gramophone on top of that. The gramophone, of course, is stamp number 10. It's now only £4.49. And then we've got the swirl dies going in around the edges of this as well, and I've cut up the large swirl, a couple of them to create that. And then the swirl frame, this is the first and only time you're actually getting to see this, which is quite a shame, because it's now only £5, so it's really one you should have a little look at, because it's a really lovely one to have in your collection. That is die 15, of course, the actual frame, and you're going to get that swirl part to actually create this, and you're going to get the oval as well to create that part, and you also get them 2 little flourishy bits in with it as well. So a really lovely set, that one. I certainly wouldn't want to be without mine. I've got my own one of them, and I'm not about to part with it. So you might want to add that one to your collection. So that completes all of your cards today. So hopefully we've given you a few ideas of ways that you could use the collections we've been looking at. But if you're not sure which ones you'd like to get, let's have a very quick run through of all of the products available today so that you can get your hands on these if you wish to. So our first product is code stamp 1. It's your woodland house scene. It should be $4.99, but it's reduced to just $3.99. We then have your stamp number 2, which is the lake scene. Should be $5.99, but it's reduced to just $4.99. And then we have stamp number 3, which is your bridge scene. Should be $4.99, but it's reduced to just $3.99. We then have stamp 4, which is your rose collection. Should be $7.99, but it's reduced to just £5.89. We then have stamp number 5, which is your music background. Should be $9.99, but is reduced to $4.99. We then have stamp number 6, which is your floral congrats stamp. Should be $4.99, but is reduced to just $3.69. We then have stamp number 7, which is your wild floral. It should be $8.69, but is reduced to just $4.99. We then have stamp number 8, which is your floral post. Should be £8.69, but again, it's reduced to just $4.99. And then we have my very favourite damask stamp, which is stamp number 9. It should be $11.99, but it's now only $7.99. Then we have stamp number 10, which is your gramophone stamp. It should be $7.99, but it's reduced to just $4.49. And then we have stamp number 11, your linen background. Should be $9.99, but it's reduced to just $4.99. And then we move on to your dies. So this one, of course, is your bulrushes die. It's die number 12. It should be £4.49p, but it's only £2.25. We then have die number 13, which is your fish corners, which should be $9.99, but is reduced to just $4.99. Then we have the really lovely swirls I keep ranting and raving about. Your swirls is die 14, should be $16.99, but is now only £8.49p. And then, of course, we have that really lovely swirl frame, which is die 15, should be $18.99, but is now only £5. And then lastly, we have your ribbon. And so the ribbon is ribbon 16, your code for that one. Should be 89p per metre, but it's only 44p per metre instead. Again, I will urge you, these items are mostly discontinued or clearance items, other than the first 3 scene stamps. So when they are gone, they're gone. So please do get in and get them while we have them. Don't forget, all of our offers end at 5 p.m. on Saturday the 22nd of December 2018. So please, once again, do make sure that you get these ordered before then as well. As we mentioned earlier, you can use the codes that we've been talking about to order any of these products, either via phone to one of our stores. You can also text us your orders. You could also order on any of our social media, so Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. It goes on and on. Any of them you can use to place your orders. Or, of course, you can order on our website as well. If you order on our website and you're shopping within the UK, it's really easy. If you spend over £35, we give you free P&P. If you spend less than £35, then P&P is just a flat rate of £2.75p. If you wish to shop with us worldwide, that's not a problem. We literally send parcels all over the world every week. We are trialling a new system for our international shipping, and it's really easy. Whatever you order, doesn't matter how much it is or how much it weighs, we just charge you a flat rate of £10 P&P. If it's cheaper than £10 for us to send it to you, then we actually refund you that money. If it's dearer than £10, then don't worry. Here at Craftmania, we will actually pay that postage for you. Now, in honesty, the average parcel tends to be about £16 and takes roughly 2 weeks to reach you. So in that sense, that means that you'll pay £10 and we will actually pay the other £6 to get it to you absolutely free of charge to yourselves. It will all come from us. Now, I hope you've enjoyed today's showcase. Now, of course, it is Christmas, so we are actually going to be missing for the next couple. So I hope you've really enjoyed this one, because it's got to tide you through to the other side of Christmas and into the new year. We will be back with you on Sunday the 6th of January. Now we will try and keep reminding you as we go, and we may even slip in the odd how-to video and bits between now and then, so do keep an eye on us just in case. But your next official Sunday Showcase video will be Sunday the 6th of January 2019. Now, as always, if you've enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and a share. And if you are watching on YouTube, we would love it if you would subscribe to our channel. We've recently hit 1,300 subscribers, but we certainly have very dizzying heights we would like to achieve in our subscriber numbers. And you can help with that by hitting subscribe if you haven't already. All of the cards from today will be on our Pinterest page as well, so if you do wish to pop on there and pin them so you can go back to them at a later date, they will be there for you forever so that you can remind yourself of what we've been chatting about. Thank you so much for watching today, and I truly hope you all have a wonderful Christmas and a really happy New Year, and we will be back with you on Sunday the 6th of January 2019. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.